Hey everyone, welcome back. It is Lucid. We're hopping back into our game with Lemuria. It's turn 64, and if you recall, we are entangled now in a war we started with Ryla, who has ever been our peaceful neighbor. And in fact, even when we aggressed against him earlier, he negotiated a peace. Which I think was for his benefit, but at the time, since I got attacked by Midgard, was also for mine. So, a message from Agartha. It may be too late. I'm only down to a handful of provinces. Fighting on 3 fronts has exacted its toll. Though Utgard has made peace with me, and Ryla is seemingly focused on other things, so now I'm really only fighting Midgard. Still, it's not looking great. Okay, last episode, if you recall, we were attacked by Slave to Unreason, which is a Doom horror. This is a different Doom horror. This is the Eater of Dreams. And he's pretty cool. He's got a ton of different attacks. One of which is this Consume Soul, which will permanently kill even immortals. And I think... yeah. And then he's got some Horror Mark stuff too, like Astral Claw does Horror Mark. I think Shatter Souls does Horror Mark. Soul Leech, I think this is just a life drain. And then Curse Luck, I'm not totally sure what this is, but... anyway, you don't want to fight these guys. So I've got a Grand Lemur here. He has no gear on him or anything. And of course he does very... oh, that was pretty cool. I think that must have been this. Shatter Souls. Yeah, it's an area effect beam. That's a really cool thing. So I think we know who's going to win this, but we'll go ahead and let it play out here. Okay, and I think we got hit by damage reversal there. Yeah. So that's actually a good way to go. We got hit, and that zapped us back, so I don't think that killed us. Oh, did it kill us? Oh wait, did I have, because I should have... okay, I have Ritual of Returning. It could be the replay's not totally the same. Yeah, okay. Oh, it looks like he got me with Life Drain. All these other ones missed though, so Life Drain's actually fine because that means I'll respawn. I don't want to get hit by Consume Soul. And then we got attacked by yet another horror. I think this is just a normal one. Yeah. And then... so nothing too much to worry about here. I can get horror marked, which would be unfortunate. But I do have Ritual of Returning up. Okay. Whoops. I'll go watch that again real quick. What I'm checking for is to see if I'm getting... so I got killed by a life drain, which is permanent, or which is great actually, because again, I'm not getting harm marked, which is really what I want to avoid. And I also didn't die, which is nice. Don't have to wait for that respawn. Okay, we found 2 magic sites. That's pretty huge. An Enchanted Gate and a Bowl of the Lost. Let's take a look at those. So Enchanted Gate is Astral 1. Bowl of the Lost, I think it's a Death one, and you can enter to summon a Bane. Banes are pretty good. If, there's 7 gems, but this gives you a commander, and when you get them as troops, they're only as... actually, it's more like these. Yeah, that's really what these are, is Bane Blades. So it's really, like... a 4-gem Death Gem unit. And in this case, in this game, since I have Astral Corruption up, it's kind of worth it to summon, to have somebody come in here to summon them, just as bodyguards. Because they make pretty good bodyguards against Tars, since they have magic weapons and a lot of protection. I mean, they'll kind of die... I don't know, it's of marginal use, but I think we're going to go ahead. I'm going to send in a Death Mage here to come summon some Banes for me. I'm sure we can find a use for them. We found another magic site, a Crystal Garden. I think this is an Astral 1 site. Yep. And... some battles. Let's go check these out. So Ryla is attacking me. And he's going to obviously take that Swinlent. I don't actually know where that is. Does it have a little picture of it? No. We're attacking Ryla. He's got a little mob of chaff here, which is not going to scare us. And we are going to attack Ryla here. This might be a little close because he does have a priest, but fortunately our guys made it back and locked his priest up in combat. And that is going to greatly help with the amount of damage we take. So perfect. That's why attack rear is oh so important with Lemuria. What do we have here? Okay. Okay, this is kind of cool. So we see Midgard. He apparently has really high fire access, whereas he has all of the Archdevils, or 3 of them. I think there's 5. A boatload of storm demons. He's got some of these dudes, who are quite good. A lizard shaman who I think is present just to go into the communion. They're quite good to add to communion, so they can do all sorts of nature stuff. And then, yeah, he's got these skin shifters back here. I'm not sure what he's going to buff them with, but we'll find out. So let's see what he does. Let's go ahead and put it just on normal speed. Inside the fort, we have a Gartha with what looks like a huge amount of skelly spammers, surrounded by crossbowmen, and then some blind fighters, and then heavy infantry. So you can see the lightning from the storm demons just raining down, and that's going to kill probably a fair amount of the mages. Okay, and there goes Gift of Heavens coming down. And you just, if you can see all the damage this lightning's doing, it's doing just a terrible amount. So I think it's pretty clear that Midgard has won this. And a lot of it is really this Storm Demon artillery. Storm Demons are really, really good. They're not really good as like 1 or 2 in an army, but once you get 30 of them, they can do so much damage. It's really, really powerful. To begin to fight them, if we look at their stats, you really need lightning resistance. The lightning itself scales with damage, or with strength. So I think these guys have a strength buff, yeah. And they get a buff from having a storm up. So what's the difference between a storm and a non-stormed, or a non-buffed? Okay, if you have storm and a strength buff, which these guys do have, they do a ton of damage. If you don't, then they don't do so much. And either way, having Lightning Fend or Ground Army is going to help a lot. Or Thunder Fend or Ground Army is going to help a lot, but yeah. These guys are pretty damn gnarly. You can see that, look, I mean, their stats are pretty amazing. 15 attack, 19 defense on top of Ethereal, and then in this case, Mistform. They'll be really hard to kill. I mean, for my Ghost, they don't really care about Ethereal, which is nice. And their magic resistance, which is a pretty important component too, is 21, which is super high. Which means I'll almost always be dealing half damage to them. So, yeah. It also means things like Winds of Death is not going to be super effective. Okay, so that was right here. We can see they did take some losses, but not very much. And then Agartha lost everything. And then here we have, I believe, a battle with some horrors. Oh, no. This is an effect of Illwinter, which actually doesn't affect me very much. Just because ghosts are really good against these, and I have forts in all my territory. For events, some people got diseased. Bloody, bloody, blah. Some bad events. We got a good one here. And our infrastructure is coming up. We also breached a fort. This one. Which we would actually like to storm. But this is Utgard's, and he's just letting us pass over it because he's nice. That would be kind of hilarious to try to break in, but of course I would never do that. And what's also funny is, I don't know if you can see, troops in this province are getting killed by an holy force, which is this pillar of life. So he was like, hey, you can pass over my land to go fight Ryla. and he told me I could pass over this one, which has Pillar of Life in it, which is kind of hilarious. Anyway, yeah, we're going to go ahead and get off there, and we're going to send this army in to finish off Ryla. So far, it doesn't seem like he's really trying to defend his cap, which is a little surprising to me. I was kind of expecting this big army to move in somewhere. Yeah, this was this battle. So he had almost nothing on top of this fort. So my expectation is he's going to want to defend his capital, and he's got a huge army here. I'm thinking what he'll do. No, I don't know what's over here. Utgard could have other stuff that may try to take this. But often when you play Ryla, you're not so worried about getting your fort siege down. Sorry, yawn. Primarily because you have a lot of assassins. So what I would expect from Ryla is for him to attack here with a pretty sizable force, and then turn after come defend his cap. Because you usually don't want to lose your cap as Ryla. You have pretty good cap-only mages you get. So anyway, we're moving in a pretty big force. This guy's just bringing extra gems for the next person. We've got Rigor Mortis, Anti-Magic coming up. Anti-Magic's really important. And then we have Group of Winter coming up, which is nice, in addition to Shark Attack. So, some basic stuff, but it should win me a fight pretty handily. For sites, we have Charmed Currents and Smoldering Starfish Colony, which is going to be good for getting our gem income up. Our fire gem income is not great, and I really would like to empower people in it. But yeah, I kind of need more income. 4 is kind of a trickle for empowering. Here we're going to be basically moving everybody. Basically, I want to crack this fort this turn so we can take it next turn. And the reason is because if I do win this battle, I don't want him to regroup and then come back in. I basically want to go ahead and take this right now. And you can see I'm braving insanity and other things. So far, we don't really have much insanity yet, which is kind of nice, but it will be coming. In terms of this battle here, we've got a ton of these dudes. Normally you have to be really careful, because these guys will get sniped by Ryla, both with Mind Hunt. But if they're in the presence of Grand Lemurs, you don't have to worry about it. And then they'll also get sniped by Assassins, which is still a risk. Though with Astral Corruption up, he's going to be limited in terms of how many bottles of water he has, which are the key kind of ingredient for Assassins. So I should probably do more Guard Commander stuff, and I think I might do that next turn. But basic stuff, we've got Rigor Mortis, Skeletal Legion, Group of Winter, Shark Attack, Anti-Magic. I got Rigor Mortis cast again, and that's in case I get assassinated. Yeah, we're going to be doing some redundancy here to account for Assassins, because the worst thing that can happen is you have a big battle, somebody gets assassinated right before it, and they were going to cast a key spell that was going to allow you to win the battle, and then without that spell, you end up losing the battle. So the assassin ends up not only killing your commander, but also tipping the tide of the battle. So if you're really worried about that, you can double script things, one at the beginning of the script with one mage, and one at the end of the script with another mage, and yeah. Okay, so these people are moving out. Infrastructure coming up here. We've got 3 months left on this. We've got 4 months left on this, so I just started that this turn, and we've got 2 months left on this. This one is only 2 months away, and then we've got Palisades here already. This one we're going to go ahead... Oh, we don't have it yet. We're moving a priest in here. We're going to build a temple this next turn. Here... we're not going to put a temple up even though we have a fort, and that's because we have enemy dominion here, which we want to keep so we can suck as much income from this province as we can. Yeah, and that's basically it. I think that's it for this turn. I'll pull up research real quick. Research, we're going to Alt 8. We kind of want to go to Alt 9. That gives us Underdark, which is kind of a game-winning spell. But I also kind of want to get Thaumaturgy 8. Thaumaturgy 8 will allow me to get Call the Worm That Walks, which is a pretty damn good mage, and it will allow nature to become ubiquitous. I can't think if there's anything else at 8. Soul Drain, which is actually something I can use. Death. Plague is actually pretty damn good too. I probably will use this in battles against Midgard and Utgard. Yeah. Could just go straight for Alt 9. We'll see. I may change my mind. So anyway, that's that turn. Let's go ahead and pull up the next one, which is turn 65. Turn 65, message from Ryla. Just a heads up, Utgard has large armies near my throne, maybe getting ready for some kind of rush. Though he would need 2 more points from somewhere else to get aid. So, Ryla, this player is the opposite of somebody who gets tilted. Every time I'm at war with him, which has been off and on in various games, he just is very level-headed. So, even though I'm kind of invading him and probably going to be taking his cap, he's making me aware thoughtfully of the fact that Utgard could throne rush, which actually is good for him because I'm going to have to kind of make sure I have some dudes. You can see we found a nature fire site. Some dudes near Utgard's throne, and I'm probably going to go ahead and turn on Utgard in not too long. Because so far, here I'm going to pull up this battle, so far Ryla is not offering much resistance in the ocean. Okay, so he is attacking, this is his fort that I was coming to kill. Not his cap, but his fort on the left. And, oops, I've got it on fast. So he's actually bringing a fair amount of mage support here. He's got some Star Children. I think he's got some priests. I don't know if I see them. Which ones are they? Oh, down here. So this is a prophet. This is a prophet. This isn't a prophet, but yeah, he's got some pretty decent priest support here. Not a lot of mage support. But we have better spells, so these guys are getting close to getting fatigued out. They're at 60 fatigue, 80 fatigue. So we've only got like 3 more turns and they'll be fatigued out. They're getting close, 75. And I think the first ones are starting to fatigue out now. I don't know, what did these guys even do? We have... Are they all communion slaves? Wait, is there a communion master here? Oh, these guys were communion masters. Okay, so these guys were slaves, which actually is pretty good if you are... you don't need many slaves. So this is going to give +2 to the magic paths of the communion masters. So in this case, was it just that one guy? No, there's a few of them. Okay, there's a few of them. So yeah, they're gonna have really high level banishment with that. Like if they're like this guy, this guy is a prophet, and then he's also a communion master, so he's gonna get a 2 boost. So he's gonna be holy 5 doing banishment. And these guys are gonna help absorb some of the fatigue, even though there's not much fatigue that's going to come from spamming that out. But as you can see, we got a rout pretty early. I think his guys are going to retreat though. Though the sharks do appear to be getting some of them. But I think we're the prophets, so the prophets up here. The prophets are... Okay, so this is a prophet. Okay, and we may get them, I think, before they get off the battlefield. It doesn't look like it. So I think he got most of his preachers out. We did get... Whoops. We did get about half of them. And then we got all the Star Children. So pretty good win. We didn't even lose that much chaff. Normally when you're doing big battles with Lemuria, you're going to count on losing a fair amount of chaff. Yeah, he really needed to bring like a slave mage or something else to hop in the communion and drop mass protection. And that would have stretched the battle out maybe long enough. And then on top of that, maybe anti-magic. And that might have stretched the battle out longer, which could have made room for his cultists to go to work, casting banishment. His lines just broke too fast. But that said, they were also getting fatigued out, so he would have needed some kind of reinvigoration on top of that. So maybe if he had earth power or something, I don't know. It would have been tricky to win that fight. Probably just would have needed to have brought more artillery. But certainly this group would have been strong enough to kill the small little group I had sieging it down. But it was the fact that I moved everybody in. Like before, I think there was just like 200 guys sitting on top of it with no mage support. There's also a battle in Ryla. Let's see if he tried to defend this. So you can see we moved a horde of undead against just PD. So I think we know how that's going to go. I lost 20 shadow soldiers, and that's about it. Unexpected event, lost some population. We got some air gems. And I think that's about it for events for this turn. So we one turn cracked his capital, which is nice. We will be storming it this turn. And we're also going to send a small group out to go ahead and take this. About 200 dudes, which is not a very large portion of this original army. This fort we also cracked, and what's really nice is there was a big army in here, but it looks like Utgard has put some dudes on top, which is very good for us, because what that means is he's not going to be able to kick us off here with potentially this very large army. So we're going to take the opportunity and storm it, and we're going to be basically, we have the same script here we had before. We're going to be attacking here, we're going to be storming Ryla's Cap. If we get Ryla's Cap, that's going to be a really nice feather in our cap. Let's find our, here's our pretender. We're going to be casting Living Castle again, which is a little risky because we have a global up with her, right? She has Well of Misery and Mother Oak up. So if she were to, say, get feeble-minded or in Soul Slay, well, no, Soul Slay would be fine. If she gets feeble-minded or if she gets her soul consumed, which is totally possible, we would be in bad shape. But we're going to keep rolling the die. We're going to be casting this at Lake Seaweed, which, where is that? Okay, right here. So a pretty safe spot. And getting this is kind of nice. It means I'm going to be able to put a temple here in a safe way. And that will really start to push up my Dominion score here and Dominion score here. And I'll probably start bleeding Dominion into Utgard, which is at this point not something I am worried about doing. And my plan is basically to fill this whole lake up with castles. Ryla probably doesn't care too much about this except for the gem income, which is nice but not huge. I mean, having 3 astral gems per turn is not bad. And then Void Gate is I can use, but I would basically be throwing a mage away. But for me, the real value of this is being able to put a fort in it and put a temple in it and then have another free spawn generator. And it will also dramatically increase the area I can attack from. And in general, I won't be able to be counterattacked here. So anyway, I'll basically have really, really easy raiding from these provinces, which will be a good thing for me. And I think that's really it. We see a big army here. I'm not sure what he's guarding inside this fort. Maybe there's a good site here or something. And he's got some big armies over here. I think this pillaging actually is just the result of somebody being insane. So we're not coming to defend this yet. I had some forces that were over here and I basically pulled them up to take Ryla's Cap. So after this, we'll probably come and try to take some of this land back. But for now, we're going to kind of hang tight. And that's it. Next episode, we will see the battle in Ryla's Cap and see if we can manage to take it, as well as the battle here in the Sea of Karasos. So thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you next time.